Sitting here is your favorite village girl, Dr. Dakalo Ndouvhada. And you are welcome again to my favorite corner, which is the Doctor's Corner. And with me today, I have the most amazing doctors, Dr. Mabitsela, Mpho, and Dr. Radzilani, Vhonani. And today, guys, let's talk about this career as doctors and how is it going? Where are you guys? What are you doing? Yeah, we just want to know, what are the doctors busy with? I honestly just want to know. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, girla. My name is Mpho Mabitsela, also known as Dr. Mabitsela, also known as mphobubbly on the socials. I'm currently 1 year post-comserve. I am a medical doctor or general practitioner at the moment. I'm doing my own thing. So you could say I have my own practice, and I'm also locuming. Just try to make ends meet, girl. You know, the way the economy's looking.
It's cold.
We're just trying to make some money.
Hi.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm Vhonani Radzilani. I'm also 1 year post-comserve. I'm self-employed completely. I'm a GP in Kempton Park. And yeah, that's my only hustle, I guess. I have an MBCHB from Stellenbosch University and also surgical primaries from CMSA. That's me.
Amazing. The girls are working. I hear and I know that you guys are post-comserve. How did you end up being GPs? Was that plan A? Was it plan B? Was it even part of the plan? We all know that in South Africa, we're having a crisis. Doctors are unemployed. People are found stranded. Other people are having problems financially and also we don't have the information. How did you guys end up in private? So first, just tell me, was it part of the plan? What was the plan even, if it was not?
Where do we start? I think... Let me not say it's not part of anyone's plan, but most of us, because of how we're indoctrinated into the medical thing, everyone sort of wants to become a specialist. And that's the path you want to follow. And when you're veered off that path, when you find out okay, it's not going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3 or ABC, just step after step. So I found myself in the position of becoming a GP because I finished my ComServe. I was asynchronous, meaning I didn't finish in December like everyone is supposed to. So a lot of the people that I knew had already told me it's bad. The unemployment is horrendous. So I was okay, finished in January. And then I was okay, maybe I can take a month break, whatever. But in that month, I just was so fidgety. I couldn't figure out, I needed to figure out, where am I going to get money?
What are you going to do?
Above all else, we still need to survive.
Yeah.
Regardless of the passion, the love you have, you need to survive. So then I was okay, cool. Let me go and find out, because locums were the thing, which is working for another doctor, were the thing of go and ask other doctors to call you when they need you and things like that. And that's how I started out. I started off locuming every now and again. And then after a while, I got an opportunity to work for myself. And I was I'm going to do that.
Okay. And how are you finding it?
Yeah, it's not easy, but yeah, I'm just trying to make the best of the situation that I'm in. And I'm starting to love it, really enjoy it, even though it wasn't part of the plan. So it's difficult to see yourself not doing what you thought you would be doing. But you just have to be grateful, number one, and you have to keep showing up. That's my thing. I'm showing up, I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm learning to fall in love with it more as I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. That's amazing to hear that you are finding happiness and peace in what you're doing now, even though it was never part of the plan.
Yeah.
It's also my thing. I never thought I could be a GP. It was never, because at school, everyone is talking about, I want to be a surgeon, I want to be a pediatrician, I want to be this. And finding myself into this position. And I just pray that, so God, give me peace with what you have given me. Your plan is what I'm going to follow. I know I had these big plans. I want to be this, I want to be that. I'm still not sure. Other people are in between of, I want to be a pediatrician. I want to be a orthopedic surgeon. I want to be a surgeon. Do I really want to be a surgeon? Do I really want to be a general surgeon or a pea surgeon? People are in between. And Dr. Vhonani, if you can explain being in the situation that you're in right now as a GP, self-employed, working for yourself, and you said that you wrote primaries. What's the plan? Are you going to exit this? Is it just for now? And if you are going to exit it, are you going to just leave your business like that? What is the plan, if there is even a plan?
So actually, becoming a GP for me was about making ends meet, but it was also a way out. So I started out doing locums in emergency departments. I didn't have any GP locums.
Okay.
I actually didn't have any experience as a GP before I opened my practice, but I just couldn't work in emergency departments anymore. I just don't like the anxiety of what's going to come through the doors next. You never know if it's going to be someone with a gunshot to the chest or someone really unstable. And I just hate to see, I know this is going to sound almost ironic or something, but when people are really, really ill, like sort of near fatal, I don't like that at all.
Like
So I prefer my stable GP patients. But in terms of my primaries, so when I wrote primaries, I was quite sure that these primaries are going to get me a job in orthopedic surgery. If not orthopedic surgery, then ICU or Gen Surg something. December came, I was unemployed. I started doing my ED locums because I thought, okay, this can also get me a job. And then I didn't enjoy that and it didn't get me a job either. So around, I think, April time, I realized that actually where I am in my personal life, I actually want to pause my career. So that's what I did. When I decided to open my practice, I decided I'm pausing my orthopedics career.
Okay.
Until I'm ready to go back into the space. So when I opened my practice, it was with the intention of going all in for my practice because I can't be self-employed, but also I'm half in, half out. Because if I only put 50% myself into my practice, that's all I'm going to get, 50%. And this is my main source of income now. So I gave it my 100%. I stopped looking at the government posts and things like that. I stopped applying completely because I've invested so much in my practice. So at the time I had thought, okay, I don't know if I'll still use these surgical primaries, but I'm going all in with my practice. In terms of orthopedics, I have sort of started going to some courses, like basic orthopedics courses, getting back into it slowly but surely, but I'm not rushing myself to get back into orthopedics. So for now, I'm going to be a GP. And then when I feel like going back to the specializing route, then I will go back. I do have the option. I'm making sure that I keep my CV up to date and relevant to orthopedics so that I can go back. But for now, I'm giving my all to my practice.
Okay. So for someone, now that you have started a practice, for someone who is sitting out there like, oh, what do I do? Like, where do I start? We're starting a practice. What is even a practice? Can I even do it? I'm fresh from community service. Like, where do I start? What are those things that you did in your community service that gave you like it made it easy for you to be where you are? Even if you didn't do anything, what do you give? What advice would you give like the ComServe that's thinking, hey, the unemployment is quite bad. I need to plan. What are those things that you think are very important to plan? I would say this to you, and I'll also, the same question will go to Dr. Mabitsela, because I think we all have different journeys. We all have different things that we did and different ways we got into what we're doing now.
So for myself, in terms of during ComServe, I think to prepare, I didn't really do much because I was convinced, I thought I would get a job. As I said, I did my primaries. I thought.
You thought.
I thought.
Okay. And there's a girl out there who's thinking, I'm going to do primaries. I'm going to do diplomas. I'm going to get a job.
Exactly. I did all the school courses. I did my BLS, my ACLS. I did my PALS. I did good clinical practice. I did research courses. Like I did so many things and I still didn't get a job. So that's what I thought I was doing to prepare. And that didn't help me. It helped me to get my locum because for ED locums, you need to have all your emergency courses.
Yes.
So if you want to prepare to do locums, then definitely have all your courses. In terms of preparing to open a practice, I would say minimize your expenses early. So unnecessary things, cut them out as early as possible in ComServe. Minimize your debit orders and then save.
Wow, that's very important.
Minimize your debit orders where you can. Obviously, you can't cut your rent.
Yeah.
You know, if you're driving a car, you can't now just sell your car. That's a little bit extreme. Change your lifestyle, but you don't have to change it to that extent, I would say.
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yes.
I wanted to say, instead of saying cut your lifestyle, I think don't inflate your lifestyle from internship. I think it should start from there.
Yes.
Because if you don't inflate your life from internship, because there is a big salary jump from internship to ComServe.
Yes.
Don't now inflate your life to fit your salary
in ComServe.
So continue with the same lifestyle you had in internship. And I'm hoping you were saving in internship.
Yeah.
So keep those savings, and then the gap, save that as well. Like the gap from your internship to ComServe salary, save that as well. Yeah.
So I think you touched a really you touched a really important point about finances, right? I'll say for me, right? In internship, guys, I had zero knowledge about money. Someone said that people that come from a point like that leave their life from a point of scarcity. Even when money's there, you want to hoard it, but you end up spending it on things that you can't even point that I bought this, I bought that, or I invested in whatever, right? I didn't have good financial literacy. And I think it's good that it happened when I was in internship, because I think one of my biggest mistakes in internship was moving out of DQ. There was no problem with living in DQ and going into an apartment that I have to pay for water, for rent. I need transport to travel from the apartment to work. I think that affected that financial decision. It might sound like it's not a financial decision. And also when you see other people getting into like a new apartment, new car, Mercedes-Benz, it's easy to say, oh, I can also afford this, I can do it. But think about long term. Think about the current state, right? I don't think that the problem that we have now can be solved in a matter of like a year. I don't think it can be solved. So do yourself a favor and save as much as you can from internship, because that money you'll need it for courses, they're not cheap.
Absolutely.
They're so expensive.
That money you're going to need it post-ComServe. Having the one stressor that people suffer from, okay, I'll say for myself, I honestly didn't go to a psychiatrist, but at that moment, that 2 months that I was unemployed, I was on the verge of depression. I started having dark thoughts because I knew that no one is coming to save me. In my family, in my immediate family, I'm the one who studied. I'm expected to help my family out, but now I can't because I'm unemployed and I need to pay for the car. I need to pay for medical aid, and I made another life-changing decision. I had a baby, right? And I'm thinking, if I don't get a job in the next 2 months, I only managed to save for like 4 months for all the expenses that I have. I don't know what's going to happen. I put all my apartment things in a storage. And I thank my mom for taking my daughter and like taking care of her that few months that I was unemployed. But financial peace, financial freedom is very important. And you don't start it all of a sudden, you're starting it in ComServe. You have to start in even if people say, oh, you're a doctor, why are you not wearing Nike? It's okay. It's okay. I'm saving money.
Yes, you're being smart. What you're being is smart.
Yes, because you can save for like 2 years. If we're being real, you can save for 2 years if you start in internship.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I think what I failed in, and I think I added more expenses, right? So that's why I had more stress. So my biggest problem was I don't want to not have money.
Yeah.
I need, because I had finally like the student loan that I needed to pay, which I paid off during ComServe, but meaning that it took so much money from the money that I have now, right? So with the money situation, right, when we're still on the topic of money, when you started your practice, how much did it require you? And where was the money needed? Was it on the registering the practice? Was it in the furniture, the rent? What's required for you to start a practice?
So I think to start a practice, my practice is quite small, it's very cutesy. I would say you'd need at least 100,000, quite frankly. And that's just like sort of minimum. Because you need to find an office space to rent. That's the first thing you need to do. Actually, from the very beginning, you need to register with PCNS, Board of Healthcare Funders. You need to get a PCNS number. That's the first thing you do. And then you have to open a business bank account. And then once you have a business bank account, now you need to figure out how you're going to do your billing, because you need to be registered with medical aids. Eventually, some people start out with a cash-only practice while they're still registering with medical aids, because that's another process. It takes at least a month to register with medical aids. You don't pay for that, but it's just very tedious. And there are so many medical aids in South Africa, which is good. Obviously, there's variety for people, but it means you have to register with all of them. Because if someone walks through your door and they're like, hi, I'm with James, and you're like, oh, I'm only registered with Discovery, that's a patient you're losing. Exactly, because they don't want to pay cash if they have medical aid. I'm not going to pay the doctor and the medical aid.
Yes.
So that also takes quite a while. And then what cost the most, I would say, was the furniture. The furniture and the equipment. So things like the ultrasound machine, ECG machine, examination bed, everything from the receptionist desk, receptionist chair. And another thing is you need to have a receptionist, which is something that at first I thought, okay, I'm working for myself. I will do everything myself, but it's not possible. If I'm in a consultation, I can't answer the phone and be like, hi, this is Dr. Radzilani's practice. There's a patient sitting in front of me. So that's something I had to undertake, is that now I'm going to employ someone. I have to be registered with SARS. I need to be registered with Workmen's Compensation. I need to be registered with UIF. I need an accountant for all of this. I didn't do all of this myself because I'm a doctor. That's what I know. I know medicine.
You don't know
I can be your doctor any day, but I don't know accounting stuff. I don't know how to do the billing. Even admin, I had to learn so that I could also teach my receptionist, Both of us were sort of learning on the job. So I think to start a practice, it takes quite a bit. And it is very stressful being self-employed, but it's also very fulfilling. In the end, there are some perks like having your own hours, deciding when you're going to go to work. But on that note, you have to be committed. There will be days where you will sit in your practice and nobody comes in and you can't just not go.
Yes.
Because the day a patient comes in, you're not there. That patient will be like, oh, I went to the doctor and they weren't even there. And then they'll tell their whole community, don't go to that doctor. She's never there. Even though it was one day that you decided not to be there.
Yeah.
So you do have to stick it out, especially in the beginning. There will be so many days where nobody will come. But you just have to tough it out.
And no one coming means that the rent needs to come from your savings.
Exactly.
The salary, the receptionist salary must come from your savings.
100%.
Everything must come.
100%.
Because at the beginning, you don't have clientele. You're just building up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I think I read something on Facebook, those medical Facebook groups,
Yes,
right?
yes.
They were saying that for you to establish a full on functioning and you can pay all your expenses and also pay yourself a salary, it takes a year or even more.
Yeah.
You are lucky if it happens earlier than that, right?
I can believe that because I'm still not at a point where I can pay myself a salary. I'm only 3 months into the game, but I'm still not able to pay myself a salary at all at the end of the month. So, okay, if we're being honest then, I'd have to say you need a lot more than 100. So 100,000 is just so you can open your doors to people. But at the end of the first month, you need to buy more equipment. So consumables. The web calls, the cotton wool, the syringes, the needles, all of that
all
is still
the
coming from your
consumables,
savings.
yes. All the things that we use in government, you use another gel, another one.
Exactly.
Sister,
Every time
another one.
you miss
count
with that
them.
needle when you're taking blood, that's literally 2 rand, for example.
Yes.
So at the end of the first month, you'll probably need another 50,000.
Yes.
Now you must pay your receptionist, you must pay rent, you must buy more consumables. Medical aids take forever to pay you back. Well, let me not say pay you back, but they take forever to pay you.
Yes.
Once you're in the system, it's quicker. But when you're starting out in the first month, they're kind of still like, who is this person? And then they don't pay you.
Yes.
So much money.
Exactly. And then they won't pay you so quickly. You think, oh, I saw a Discovery patient today. By next week, I'll have the money.
No.
Definitely not.
In a month or so.
Exactly. So I would say from running costs, if it's a small practice, it's not doing too much, doesn't have too much equipment, thereafter you need at least about 50,000 a month. So yeah, 3 months in, I'm not making a salary. So I'd say still about like 250,000 just in the first few months.
Yes.
And to save, and to save that amount, as you said, you have to start an internship. Because yes, in ComServe, you're making good money, but you have debit orders.
Yes.
So I would say, yeah.
Dr. Razi, I hear you talk about like starting your own practice. That's like a big girl move, right? I had no business ideas. Like I don't think I would have been able to start my own practice maybe I could have if I was empowered with information, right? The only thing I knew was to join a practice, which is what I did, right? So I am currently working at NHC. So how we work is that there's the company. So there's like a group practice, and then there's like different GPs. You work for yourself the same way you work, right? But when you get there, they're already registered with medical aids. They just need to add, we have Dr. whoever, right? And then they feel like their process of joining medical aids is quite easier than when you're doing it yourself. They already have an established billing system. So I don't need to I just go through induction. Okay, how do you bill? What are the ICD codes and all those things, right? And then they already I have to sign a contract. It's different from you. You don't have to sign a contract from anyone, right? I have to sign a contract. So my contract looks like this. It says that I come with my own furniture. I don't need to pay down rent, right? From whatever I'm making, I have to pay for the receptionist. I have to pay for the nursing staff. I have to pay for the rent and other billing things and the billing clock. And then my consumables will also be deducted according to what I've made. So what I start with is like a credit. So I go to the pharmacy and say, okay, I need my consumables, this and this and this and that, right? And then the company itself, they keep, okay, you are owing 200 Rand. At the end of the month, when I finish working, they give me a certain percentage, which we agreed upon. Obviously, I can't disclose that. But you don't need to pay off everything, as in like the rent and everything. So they say, okay, you're starting up. We're giving you a chance. We're giving you a chance to work, and you'll pay us off at a certain duration. I mean, a certain period, right? With that being said, it means that for someone who didn't save for starting a practice, that was my best bet at making money. Because in the 2 months that I was unemployed, I struggled with getting locum opportunities. I was in the group for locums. I will get in locum that's in Bloemfontein. I'm like, okay, I need to find accommodation for Bloemfontein. I need to drive to Bloemfontein. I got like 2 opportunities to go assist, to cover for assisting, but it was all the way in Venda. I was like, okay, I can drive there and stay at home. But that was 2,000 Rand driving there and coming back, right? And I could have stayed at home and worked at home, but mentally I couldn't. I remember this one day, it was just a hot January. I was sitting and my grandmother was like, girl, tomorrow pack your bags, go stay with your cousins. I don't want you here. Because I can see like
your mental health
is going down. So for someone who's out there, they're thinking, can I go into like because now it's July. For you to save and get to the 2,000 Rand, there is an opportunity to join other group practices. But when you join a group practice, you need to show, I have this course, I have that course, because they need to trust you. They don't want to just get someone who's not going to be reliable, someone who's not going to who doesn't know the work, because then you're representing their group practice, right? If you don't do right by the patients are not going to say, Dr. Mang Mang. They will say, when you go to that institution, the doctors are like this, you know? You see, you go through the interviews and all those things. So I faced difficulties getting locums. And I hear Mpho, you saying that you're still doing locums now. You're also working in a GP practice. How did you manage to get to that point where some of us like me never got that opportunity to do that?
So to be honest, I put on my shoes and I got to walking. That's how I got my locum. So in the area where I stay, I grew up in Kempton Park. And then I lived very close to Kempton Park. So I was like, you know what? I know this area. I know the doctors in the area. I know exactly where to go. I printed like little slips that had my name, surname, my phone number and email, like contact details. And then I literally went practice to practice, dropping off that little piece of paper and saying, listen, I'm available if you need assisting. I went to the local private hospital that was there, went to all the surgeons, dropped off my little details. And then for the first maybe like the first week, it was quiet. And then the second week came and my phone was blowing up. Literally like people were like, oh, hey, I need someone to assist. And then, because I dropped off, I'm sure 50 of those little slips,
Oh.
GPs and like surgeons. And I just literally, I was taking any job that would take me at the time. Then it got to a point where I was being called too much. So then I had to like channel it down to be like, okay, what makes the most sense? Because it does make sense for me to be driving from, let's say, Midrand to Sandton to Kempton Park, back to Midrand, like throughout the day. I had to like, okay, what makes the most sense for me with regards to also the fact that I have a family, I still need to rest and all of those things. And then that's how I got my locums. Then I got a permanent locum, where I work certain days of the week, every single week. And that was our agreement with the doctor. And then that was my first like gig, and I was super excited. I'm like, okay, at least there's something permanent. Then I got the opportunity to also join like a group practice, I guess you could say, with another doctor. And she was like, oh my gosh, we actually need a second doctor. And that's how I started working with her as well. So I also had like an easy sort of route because I didn't have to do the whole signing up for things and all of that, because a lot of that stuff was already done for the group practice. And I just had to like join and then start working. But again, like you said, you need to upskill yourself. They weren't going to call me if I didn't put that I did BLS, ACLS, PALS on my little slip. Because if I just put, I just have my degree and I just have internship and ComServe, they're going to be like, okay, and emergencies? Like, what's going to happen, babe? So yeah, that's how I got to put on your shoes. Don't be scared. Go and do it. Like, just go in. A lot of them will be mean and say no. And a lot of them will say, okay, you'll literally watch them take your paper and throw it in the dustbin. Literally. And it'll be not in a bad way, but it's like a lot of the times you don't get the opportunity to speak directly to the doctor. You'll speak to the practice manager or the receptionist or whoever's there. And you'll literally watch them take your paper and throw it in the bin. They won't even ask the doctor. Like, you find a lot of the doctors I left my papers with don't even know that I did that because the person in the front already just like counted me out and was like, okay,
we don't
this girl.
do that.
But like, you just need to keep going because it will stick. Someone will call. A few people will call. Yeah, just don't get tired.
So with what you're saying is that you need to have a lot of courage and patience.
Absolutely.
100%.
And it's Dima, like you need to have a hepatomic girl to say, I'm going to go knock.
Yes.
And also coming from a point where, from a situation where we were shielded, I think we always say this, like, it's very cold outside the government's blanket. Oh my
guys.
God. Yes.
People are mean.
Yes. See, the meanness in the hospital, at least you know at the end of the day, you're going to get paid. You know the salary is coming. But when you're going and you're knocking, this person is like, who are you? Are you really a doctor?
Yeah.
It's quite discouraging. And for people that have families they have to provide for, it's quite difficult, especially if you're coming from a point where a family is giving you pressure, because we can't shy away from the fact that other people, they have what do you call black tax,
yes,
right? And the parents won't understand. Like, what do you mean you're unemployed?
You're a doctor.
How is that even a possibility? And because people don't look at the news and they don't believe what's in the news when we say, like, a lot of doctors are not employed. Amongst my friends I went to medical school with, all of us at the beginning of the year were unemployed.
That's like
month
10
two,
people.
Yeah, month 2, we were all unemployed. Month 3, that's when I started doing GP work. My other male friends also started doing GP work. But that experience is so difficult.
Yeah, and it's humbling. So I think it's so humbling because, like, I don't know, maybe I'm like being a little risque, but like, I think doctors generally have a really big ego. Like,
100%.
Because we're told, like, from high school, oh my gosh, you're a top achiever, top student, go study medicine. Then you study medicine, like, you're never going to be unemployed. You're going to always have a job. You're like a necessity. Remember in COVID, we were essential workers.
Essential workers. We were so
And then it was
special.
like, you know, like you feel like, yeah, you know, like I'm the girl. And then you're unemployed and now you have to go and like ask for things. And I think it's very humbling to do that because you like, you didn't think you'd ever have to be in that
like
situation.
that.
You always feel like you will always be of service to people or people will always need your service. Not that you will have to actually go and ask people to be of service. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so that was like, that's humbling. Like you realize like, damn, like it's not just a doctor problem. This problem that affects South Africa, which is unemployment, also affects you.
Doctors,
and you didn't think that. Like you were like,
You're no longer special.
Yeah, like how, guys?
I with regards to that, I got to a point where I was talking to my cousin and I said, girl, I think we needed to feel, yes, it was not necessary for us to feel the pain, but I think we needed some form of, people are always also struggling out there.
Yeah.
You cannot always get things on a silver plate. You know, you have to go hustle. That's character building.
Yeah.
I never thought I needed financial literacy, you know, but now running a practice, I'm like, okay, this money, I still need to pay that. The next month, if I need a furniture in my office, it must come from this.
Yeah.
Tax, I didn't even know, like, how do you pay tax? If I'm self-employed, how is that?
Yeah.
Like, how do I do that? So with that being said, I think that on the doctor's corner, we need to have some form of financial advisor. We need to have some form of SARS people to come and educate the doctors. Let's talk about money, because we don't know. Personally, guys, imali andiyazi shema. Imali oh, you get a salary and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, people say that we are rich. Are you rich, girl?
Oh, I wish.
I'm so far from
I
it.
had the money people think I have.
Truly.
Because
Yeah.
the life I would be living.
I'm just this. When people look at me, that I said I don't have money, they're like,
Yeah.
you don't have money.
I
Guys,
like you
for me, like one person who knows the truth is my accountant. He's like, oh. Because I have to send my bank statements every month because he's the one who has to do all my stuff. Because I still don't know taxes and things like that. My accountant does it. He's like, oh, I looked at your bank statements. And he's like, okay, are there things you can cut? Because now he's like, you can't afford anything. Don't you think? Yeah, he's like, don't you think you can cut some things a bit because it's not looking great. Truly, and I think for him, probably because he has experience with doctors,
yes,
he knows like what it's like when people are starting. So maybe when he started being an accountant for doctors, he was probably like, oh, these people are
like
struggling.
Yes, there isn't that much money.
Don't worry, because he keeps telling me, he's like, don't worry, I promise you, by next year, things will be fine, because he's seen the journey. But for me, as someone starting out, I'm just like, it's rough.
And I think also
really
the
rough.
jump. Because we were lucky that you get placed straight after med school, right? And immediately you have a salary. And like, it's so much money, you don't know what to do with it. Like as a 20-something, like it's a lot, to be honest.
It is.
You're like, I used to live on my little allowance and now I'm living.
That 1 point from NSFAS, my friend.
So now when you have to sort of, I'm not saying you're going back to your allowance, but like you're going back to like having to penny pinch per se. Like you can't really, like I'm thinking an internship, if it was a Thursday and I felt like sushi, I'm buying sushi. If it was a Friday and
what
I
is
want
300?
Yeah. I remember we went on holiday and we planned it like a month in advance. Like 1 month. As in we said, this month we're saving half and next month the other half we're going. And now you can't. What do you mean? What are you doing now?
No, sister, like,
Yeah. So
you know? No. I hear you guys. Like, I'm so glad that I feel seen. I feel like you guys understand. Like, if you say, let's go for lunch, you're not going to say, girl, like, we popping champagne. I cannot afford it.
Yeah, let's pop some MCC.
Like, let's drink tea. Let's drink tea. I feel like let's just drink tea. Let's stay at home. Let's go to the park with our kids. Like
100%.
Let's not do extreme things. But that comes with the knowledge that you have now, right? There's someone else there who's sitting and says, nah, I have the money. I do have the money. When Zara, when Shein, I can buy whatever. You can just order and order and order. But that money is actually not enough. And another thing is that when you introduce to money like this, when you go to a dealership, they say, oh, no, you qualify. Doc?
Oh,
in your first month of you're a doctor.
Yes,
it's fine.
You qualify.
You can get
you
the
haven't
car.
even gotten your first salary.
Exactly.
No, you qualify.
No, you qualify.
You're a doctor.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You have you are employed. Let's see if you're employed. Oh, okay, you qualify. And then another thing is that medical aid counts. You need insurance. You need this. Another thing that you didn't mention on starting a practice, malpractice insurance.
Oh, 100%. Before you even open your doors, before you even think of opening your doors.
And even certain locums, they don't want you to come and do locum without malpractice.
Yes.
It makes no sense for you to say, coming from government, I did insurance for what?
Yeah.
I'm just a doctor. one day someone is going to sue you that you didn't test their urine. And you will need representation. And it comes in that form. It is so, no, guys, when my aunt kept saying, you need insurance. What do I need insurance
What am I insuring?
What am I insuring? I can just go there and do what I know how to do.
Yeah.
But private practice needs you to be covered. They also don't want to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Because people will come there and just trick you.
Yes.
So that they can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Because
There are people like that.
People want money out there. People are desperate for money. The same way you are desperate for money. People are desperate for talking about desperation. I think a thought just came in. How do you know your worth when you're doing locum?
That's a sensitive topic.
It is. I'm not saying yo. Okay. You need to speak to other people. This thing of it being a secret, of not asking other people, how much are you getting for your locum? What's your rate? How do you charge? Because every doctor that you're going to speak to, or every practice owner or practice manager is going to give you something different, number one. And also not in a feisty or like weird way. They're also trying to save money. They're not going to give you the highest rate. They want to see, or do you know your worth as well? So if you get in there and, for example, say, how much do you guys give? They're going to tell you, we give 2 rand an hour. And then you're going to go outside and your friends are going to be like, friend, we're getting 10 rand an hour. They're playing you. And you've already agreed to that because you didn't go and get information beforehand. So ask people, like, speak to people. Don't ask the people at the practice. I'm just being honest. Because they're going to try lowball you because they don't want to pay as much as, let's say, the next person. So ask your other friends who are also locuming, or even people who are ahead of you in years or whatever, who've been doing something like that. Ask them, what's the going rate? And the thing you need to understand, the rate is different in different regions. So in more like, I don't know, affluent areas, your Sandton, Pretoria, like Gauteng in general, I think the rate is a bit higher than the rest of the country. Because firstly, I think the demand is higher, the patient load is higher, things like that. Then you also need to find out how much work you're going to be doing. Because now you agree to a low rate and then you're seeing something like a million patients a day. And that's not like, you're there for long hours, but you don't even feel it because the payment is not enough. So just ask questions, and it changes year by year, and it changes based on the agreement. Some people will say, we'll pay you based on how many patients you see and not per hour. So it's like just asking people and finding out.
And I feel like people who already have their practice and they want locums, they are also aware that there's so many people who are desperate for jobs at this point. So they will always make sure that they get the person who they're going to pay less. Right? And remember, being paid less and doing the work, you're gonna end up not having the money to do to pay for transport, to pay for your car. But yet you wake up every day. You can't even cover your petrol. You can't cover where you stay. So I feel like when you look at that, when they say, okay, we're giving you, for example, 2 rand per hour, you say, okay, I want to work, but I think the 2 rand won't work with what I have. Be able to negotiate for yourself. Don't be scared, because you are the one doing the work. At the end of the day, this person is going to have vacation and still eat the money that you're making. Yes, it's their business. They should benefit from it, but you should be paid for what you... I think another thing is that we don't actually take our salary and stretch it and see how much are you getting paid per day.
Per day.
Like the government salary.
We never
actually know.
Yes, we actually don't know. We just
I think another thing I have to say is that you must just watch out for exploitation.
100%.
Because there was a group that I'm in for locums, and they were saying that people are charging them for like training. So you work a full day and they don't pay you a thing. And they're like, no, we're training you.
What?
No, you're training me in what? Like, I don't understand.
I have an MBCHB.
Yeah, I know.
And I was trained internship 2 years.
Exactly.
My brother, I did community service.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then they don't call them again. Like, so then they don't say come back the next. So then what they do?
So the next day they train someone else.
Yes, they just be training people for free.
That's exploiting someone.
It is. It is. So just watch out for things like that. Like, don't allow people. That's why I'm saying speak to more people. Because if you try and sit alone in your corner and be like, I'll figure this out, I know how to do this and whatever, you don't.
You don't, honestly.
Yeah.
And there's other things that I know we are all doing GP work, right? You doing GP and locuming, she's starting her own practice. I'm in a group practice. There's other opportunities. There's doing, what does Mel do? what do you call
What,
corporate?
assisting?
Yeah, corporate medicine.
Oh.
I have friends that are assisting in theaters. That's a lot of money. You just
It
won't
is.
get the money now, but when you go assist, you still need to do the malpractice, the billing,
Yes,
and all
yes.
the things that needs to be done for a practice. You need to have those things like insurance, practice number, and all those things, so that you are able to. When the people say come assist us, they want to know that if we get into trouble, do you have representation? You know, they need to know that, they need to have that assurance, right?
Yeah.
And then there's corporate medicine, which I don't know much about it, because I love clinical medicine.
Corporate medicine is also starting to be difficult to get into because I also looked into it. I looked into everything. I was just looking for work. They're starting to ask for experience. So they're starting to be like, you need to have at least 2 years of experience in corporate medicine. But you can prepare yourself with things like courses. Again, asking the person who is in corporate medicine, go and speak to them. Then there's also like research, like those people are hiring as well. There's a lot of stuff to do. You just need to get on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Look at me. Get on LinkedIn.
You do need LinkedIn, guys, because people put their accolades and their employment and everything. Like people put everything that you need there. But because we're used to TikTok and Instagram doctors, we don't go to the right platforms to get the information. Don't ask the right people, because if I ask Mpho, what will she say? If you ask me, I will tell you how much I'm making, how much I got there, how much I have in my bank account. I don't care whether you go gossip and say she has zero, right? She's on a negative. As long as I've told you my truth and where I'm standing. Yeah, get the information.
And not everyone is mean. Sorry, not everyone is mean.
Yes.
So just ask. If someone is mean to you, the next person probably won't be. Just ask.
Just on that note, I actually wanted to mention, I forgot to mention that I do assisting work as well, regularly. And I got that through LinkedIn. So essentially, I messaged a whole bunch of surgeons. I went through, so what Mpho did with the little slips, I did that on LinkedIn. Because I wasn't in a space where I could leave home because I have a young baby. So I couldn't just go out and promote myself that way. So I did it on LinkedIn because it is a professional platform.
Yes.
And I was approaching people as a professional. And that's how I got my assisting gig. And as you said, when you're assisting in theater, it is good money, but it takes a while to come in. Because again, the medical aids take a very long time to pay. But once you're in it, surgeons like assistants who have experience, and they like assistants who do their own claims. So the surgeon will call you and say, okay, I have a C-section, for example. Do you do your own billing? You say yes. And then they'll ask if you're registered with medical aids. You say yes. As long as you say yes, then they know it's not their problem. They will have an assistant. They'll call you. You'll go assist. And then they'll be like, bye. They know that your payment is your own problem. Which, again, you need to have the insurance, the business bank account, the medical aid things, all of those registrations. That's, again, on you. So I think when it comes to putting yourself out there, even on LinkedIn, you really can. And as she said, not everyone will be mean. 1 or 2 surgeons will be like, okay, actually, you can come assist me. You can come check out my rooms and things like that.
Yeah, it's just forming relationships. I think relationships are very important. I think we had a brief conversation about relationships. People that are in your life, your family, whoever, like your friends, whatever, they can speak for you in rooms. If you're a reliable person and you're not going to embarrass them, they'll speak for you. And those relationships, you need to nurture them from internship, right? It's not even about getting a job, right? For someone like me who did obstetrics for a year in community service, I had forgotten about all those internal medicine stuff. Like I would have forgotten like a lot of things, right? So now because I have a community, I call Mpho, I have this problem. What do you think it is, right? It makes your life easy. You have security and you're a safe doctor. I call Mihalek about surgical things. I said, I have a burns patient. What do you think is the best dressing for this burn patient? Do I need to transfer this patient, right? Yes, the information is there. You also have it, but you need assurance from someone you know that they know. If I have orthopedics, I'll call Vhonani. Vhonani, what do I do with this fracture? Does it need does it need a back slap? Do I need to put a CPOP? So community helps if you're going private. Even if you're not going private, you're going to work in government. Referring from other people is very important. And as an intern, one thing you can do as an intern is to be reliable.
Yes.
And don't be combative, because the people that are ahead of you, they have relationships. Yeah. They can speak for you in rooms. I told one, Mihalek is like one of my consultants, and she was an intern curator, and I told her, okay, I think I want to go back into the surgical specialist. She's like, no, you're good at surgery and whatever. I'm like, but I'm confused whether I need to go back into that, or I want to do something that is suitable with like the life I want for myself. Because I can't just do work all the time, right? I need to raise my child. I need to be a family member, an active family member, because I'm not made by work alone. But because she has seen how much I work, she's able to even take my call. She knows I'm not going to call her and say, oh, nonsense. I'll tell her the truth. I even have other people in higher places that I can call and say, my friend, I have this thing, right? The relationships. All I'm emphasizing is that have relationships with people that you work with. Don't just be the mean girl. Don't just be the mean guy. The intern that's not reliable. You're always skipping work. No one is gonna. It's the same thing. If you skip work, how are you gonna survive being a GP? Because you need to come whether it's 2 patients and no patient.
Yeah, and you're right. Because this side of like private, it's no work, no pay. That's just how it works.
You don't show, you don't get the money.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, there's a lot we can talk about. There is a lot that is needed for the people to know, for the young ones to know. But we can't speak about everything on one setting. Maybe one day we'll also get an opportunity. For those who have questions, I think we'll all be available to answer all the questions here. Even on our personal platforms, we will be able to answer questions. But comment down below. Send a DM, however way you want to know. If you don't want your things to be public, you can always ask, right? And if you think there's important topics that we should talk about on the platform, we will. We take every suggestion as long as it's legal, as long as it's relevant questions. And some of the things we will address personally with people that need them to be addressed. So guys, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You know how it felt like? It felt like I needed to debrief. And a little me in ComServe needed to hear this, you know? 100%. So thank you guys for coming and availing yourself for this. And I hope I hope someone somewhere will watch this and it will change their life. And one day they'll come and say, Dr. Radzilani, you know, you said this on the doctor's corner. I used it and it worked for me, you know? So when can the people find you? I mean, where can they find you? Sorry.
So you can find me, physically, you can find me at Hluma Medical Center. That's the practice that I own.
Say it with your chest, girl.
You're a boss, babe.
It's like own.
Practice.
Yeah. It's in Kempton Park. Just Google us. We're on Google. And then on the social media streets, or if you're not really 100% sure, you can find me at mpho_bubbly everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, not really on Facebook. On LinkedIn, I'm Mpho Mabitsela. Very professional.
Yes, you should.
Bubbly on LinkedIn. Get But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay.
For myself, you can find me as Dr. Vhonani Radzilani everywhere. Google, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter. Literally everywhere, I'm just Dr. Vhonani Radzilani. Even my physical practice is called Dr. Vhonani Radzilani. I'm based in Glenmarais in Kempton Park.
Well, so all the information, if you didn't hear them, we'll put them on the description box. Yeah. So I'm sure there's crazy things that you've heard about doctors and misconceptions, and this is an opportunity for us to speak for ourselves. So what are those things that you've heard, the craziest things you've heard, and you're like, oh girl, that's not true. That's not us. I guess other people don't beat the allegations, but what are those things that you don't believe or that you don't believe that is true about us?
Yeah. I think my most common one at the moment, not that I'm saying I don't look my age, but hey, you do in the comment. You do. But like that the good doctors are the older. Or they look older, or they are like the old like men and women. And yeah, I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm also saying that the young doctors are also good doctors.
Yeah.
But also we are doctors, because a lot of people will say, oh, you look young for a doctor.
Yeah.
Guys, we qualify when we're 24 and then we're doctors. So yeah.
I think, for me, it's quite difficult, especially working in a village, in like the rural areas. Every time when they go to reception and they're like, oh, there's Dr. Ndouvhada. They're like, oh, yeah, no, Ndimshawi. And then when they come to like the room, they're like, you? I expected a big man with a mkaba. I'm just like, well, there's no other Dr. Ndouvhada. I'm the only one.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. Hear me out. Hear me out. You'll come back. Sorry. Anyway, so what's any other misconception you've had, Dr. Radzilani?
I think definitely that being a doctor is our entire personality. And I think it's also because of the culture of being a doctor. They make it as though being a doctor is everything because of society. So then a lot of people internalize that, and they're like, oh, as soon as they walk into a room, they're like, I'm a doctor. And they expect people to care. And now they think all of us are like that.
Yes.
But being a doctor is not everything. It's literally a job. The same way that there are accountants, pilots, receptionists. It's a job. It's not who we are.
Yes. The one thing that baffles me is that people actually think that doctors marry only doctors. Like,
we don't even like each other.
I love my brothers, but for marriage? Ooh, sorry.
Don't do it.
And the other thing is that we are not social, right? The moment someone sees Mpho, I'm not saying you do that, but when they see like another brother drinking alcohol, you are in the same place as this person. You are where you work. You guys are drinking together. I'm like, you are drinking, a doctor drinking.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah,
When we leave our little hospitals and our GP practices, we're just people.
Yes.
The same as you. Friday
you.
nights we socialize.
I'm just your
everything.
neighbor, your sister, your cousin,
Exactly.
your friend's friend. I'm not wearing the doctor title wherever
outside,
I go.
yeah.
But
Please don't call me that in the social streets, please.
Wow. People doctor, it's itchy here. What must I do?
Everywhere you go.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming to the pod. Doctor's Corner. It was amazing having you guys. Thank you for joining us on the Doctor's Corner. It's still the village girl, Dr. Dakalo. And see you on the next episode. And whilst you're going to the next episode, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Because there's more to be said. There's more to be learned. We'll be empowered at the end of those. Thank you.